Night of the Living podcast is always ad-free for patrons at patreon.com/NOTLP.
Hey everybody, welcome to a slightly abbreviated number 2, month of number 2s.
Ow!
No, we pinched it off.
Here we sit, brokenhearted, came to do 4 movies, but farted out 3. So we had a little bit of confusion, but how we settled on we're doing The Heretic, which is Exorcist II.
Yep.
But I didn't watch it.
Which Kelley didn't watch, and that's fine.
I have never finished. I'm actually excited to have this conversation.
Frankly, it's a bad enough movie that if somebody was like, dude, I'll talk about it, but I don't want to watch it, I kind of understand that.
Which is what I said.
Yeah.
So I'm not even mad. And I would even feel that way about Gremlins 2 next week, because I think that movie is also pretty fucking terrible, but it has puppets in it.
I'm interested in Gremlins 2.
Yep. And then we had a winner. Do you remember who the winner was, Amy?
No.
Okay, but if you get...
is it Ed Wilcox?
Yes.
Thank you, Kelley. Good memory.
I have not sent you that email yet, but it's coming. And boy, howdy, are you going to be excited to see it.
So you're just picking an inferior sequel. It doesn't necessarily have to be a part 2, but a part 2 fits the theme better.
I mean, it's better. It's February. It's the second month. God.
Yeah.
So, I mean, some people choose to do more.
Right?
And we encourage that.
We're in the minimum pieces of flair.
What do you think about someone that does the bare minimum?
That is Kelley, who is criticizing your lack of effort.
Makes me want to die.
That's Amy, who wants to die.
I don't. I have felt that way, though, for the last couple of weeks.
And Andy rounds out the fun bunch.
I want to live.
Good.
I'm Freddy Morris. This is Night of the Living podcast.
We are.
Yeah, patreon.com/NOTLP. That's how we do this. Honestly, that's where I would say 90% of no more than that, probably 95% of the funding that keep the show going comes from that. So thank you for your support. We just did Origins, which ironically we were doing 3rd installments in a sequel because it was March
of 2012.
I think was it still 2012?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
I feel like there's something in here about how repetitive our collective brains and psyches are. That even at the same time of year, we come back to a similar theme.
Yeah.
There's something there.
I think that's a universal man's search for meaning in the randomness of the universe.
It's that Elton John song.
Which one?
Circle of Life.
Circle of Life? I thought you were going to be like,
Saturday.
The bitch is back.
There's
Sequels, you know?
Yeah.
I think time is just folding upon itself, and we're meeting,
of course,
somewhere at the intersection again.
That's true. That's
deep.
For sure true.
Andy saying that reminds me of Time is a Flat Circle, which reminds me of True Detective, which I really want to watch this new season. It's supposed to be good.
Well, you're sick.
I've heard it's not good.
Oh.
Our television is abuzz with it. A lot of people calling it the worst.
Oh.
Ooh, our television is like punk rock.
Yeah.
They're like we have unpopular opinions.
I will stop being excited about it then.
Amy, can you scratch that off? Tear it off your dream calendar.
Okay.
You're allowed to.
Hey, Kelley, my mom has cancer, so like I have very little joy in my life. And I'm sick right now too.
That's exactly why I wanted to ruin that for you.
Yeah, he loves rubbing salt in wounds.
Yeah, it's like kicking when you're down. Thanks for that.
It's the easiest time to do it.
Kick them when they're up. Kick them when they're
highest amount of kick them when he's up.
Oh yeah.
Anything you recommend from now? I'm gonna be like, I heard that's awful.
It really sucks.
No matter what it is.
Oh no.
So Patreon. That's so funny because we were talking about kicking something when it was down in Patreon. I mean on Origins too, where how we used to just hate a movie and just beat it up and then tie its unconscious body back up like a heavy bag and go at it again. Yeah. So if you like that sort of thing, if you're a meanie but you're also kind of a nicey who wants to give money. Meanie. If you're a soft
You're a
meanie.
soft meanie. Yeah.
You're a mean softie.
Or a hard nicey.
A hard nicey.
If you're a hard nicey, that's my favorite. Go to patreon.com/NOTLP. And then I will also, at the end of the show, I'll probably be bringing Patreon up again for a different reason.
No.
But that's personal.
For an inappropriate reason.
He's going to pass you a note to tell you what it is.
I got an EP coming out March 3rd.
Yep.
Yes, you
I mean
do.
March 8th. I can't keep shit straight in my brain.
Freddy Morris.
That Friday. Because that's when everybody does it and you have to be lockstep to fit in.
8th.
March 8th, it's a Friday. It's called Familiar. It's 4 songs. It is
very exciting.
Birthday Card, Bouncing Baby Boys, Pawn Shop, and Pulling Away. And
Pulling Away.
these are 4 of 20 original songs I wrote over the past 2 years in seclusion here in our hideaway in Cincinnati.
Real weird.
I got real weird. I got real deep into my brain and I've rummaged
Up his
around.
ass.
I threw things out. I did a Marie Kondo in my subconscious.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is the result. And I had the privilege of working with Adam Ayan, who
Which is very exciting.
dude's amazing. He did Father John Misty's most recent album, which I've been recommending to everybody because I think it's really, really good. But he also did the Bohemian Rhapsody soundtrack.
Mastered them. And he mastered Freddy.
That's what I meant to say. He mastered
Heart.
my EP and in my heart.
Do you see this?
And-
Do you
yeah.
feel it?
Yeah, so
More to come on that.
more to come, and you'll be able to pre-save it. Just follow me on my socials, Freddy NOTLP, mostly everywhere.
Mostly everywhere.
But I'm gonna play one of the songs from that at the end of the show. That's the thing I meant to tease.
Don't forget to tell us what it is when we go on the out.
I will. Thank you, because I
But
will.
don't forget.
I mean, don't.
I'll try not to. I'll probably end
Don't
up
you.
accidentally playing our regular theme music,
Forget about
but I have it queued up just in case.
quick on the at the top here, if I could.
Take a little off the top.
Has anyone experienced these new Oreos that they have out
No.
called
Oh, the pop rock
the
ones?
Space
Yeah.
Dunk?
Yes, I have had those.
What'd you
They're
think?
Fun.
Oh my God, I love
Don't you like
them.
fun? Don't you like fun food?
Kelley, I'm sorry. I know you're keto. This probably sounds disgusting, but
It doesn't sound
They're
disgusting.
good.
I liked
Man.
Oreos in my previous life before I became a vampire.
Right.
I liked Oreos.
You're gonna have to hear my stomach growling soon. I think
Yeah.
if you keep talking about food.
I'm sorry. I just have
That's all
to
right.
bring it. I have to bring it up because I think they're fun.
And they're pretty too.
They're gorgeous. And here's the thing that they knew to do. Okay, like different like limited edition new like special kinds of Oreos where they fail for me is that I don't really want you to change the filling.
No.
And what they want to do is change the filling.
Don't change the filling.
It's the
You
same
change the cookie or you change the
flavor,
look.
right?
So what they did with these space ones is they
Yeah.
kept the filling and they just put some Pop Rocks in that
And they
shit.
colored it though.
Oh yeah, it's different colors. But
Yeah,
that's
it's
it.
pretty. It's
It did not change the taste.
Here's the thing: it's in a much smaller package, but we ate
should've
the whole
got
package.
More.
The two of us.
I just watched the Foods That Built America about Oreo v. Hydrox. Boy, Hydrox got its ass handed to it.
Yeah, how and how?
And really rightfully so.
Yeah,
Oreo, superior cookie.
Very
It's true.
much so.
What, is there a difference between Hydrox and Oreo?
Have you,
Besides
yeah.
the superior name, I
there's
think
a
that's
whole
probably
show
reasoning.
about it, a whole
And there's
episode.
And there's
That's
a
why
big
they lost the
difference.
Cookie Wars. Hydrox is an awful name for cookies.
Well, they said that,
Yeah.
first of all. That was part of the problem.
Sounds like a cleaning solution.
If you've never compared and contrasted, Hydrox a lot harder.
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't have good crumble. They like a
They're less chocolatey.
and
More chalky.
They are less chalky because they don't have the cuckoo in them. That
So-
was what made the Oreo. It had Hershey's cuckoo.
Cuckoo.
Which came first? Did Hydrox come first or Oreo?
Hydrox.
Oh shit.
So Hydrox was king of Cookie Hill, then Oreo came over and said, nope.
I
Push
feel like
their
maybe-
asses down the hill, man.
The National Biscuit Company came along and was like,
Yeah.
no.
they came in like a whole
They kick
unit.
open the fucking door, man.
They're like, you think you got something?
They were like, it
got
would be a
nothing.
shame if something happened to those cookies.
That sounds like something that would happen on the Foods that
They
is it-
served a no-knock warrant on their asses.
What's the title of that
Get
show again?
outta
I get them all
here.
mixed up.
Foods That Built America.
I love that show. but I can't remember the name of it. But Andy, have you watched it yet, Andy?
No, I just hear you and Kelley tells me about it.
You're only getting the telephone game version of the Foods That Build America. And we could be feeding you misinformation and you could destroy America by proxy.
I'm not, though. It is one of the best shows in the world.
Yeah, it is really, really damn good. It's so edutainment. It's like Unwrapped on crack.
It gets tense.
Yeah, it does. There's gunplay. Yeah. Ah! Oh my God! When the Colonel tried to murder everyone,
dude,
the shotgun,
cornflake fiasco.
The cornflake fiasco. Don't get me started on that. Everything around the whole fucking enema scene in the wellness stuff.
Yeah,
it's so interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
So these space dunk Oreos are gonna make your life worth living.
But you can't space dunk during a Space Jam.
Oh shit!
Is that performed during a Space Jam?
Oh shit!
But do you dunk these Oreos? Because I just eat them straight up. Because I feel if you dunk them, then it defeats the purpose of the Pop Rocks because it would just pop in the milk.
Yeah, and I'm not. Yeah, these are not milk Oreos, but I'm not usually much of a milk person.
These are snacking Oreos.
They're snacking.
If they did that, I'd be like,
these
"Did you
are
pop in my milk?"
Worthy.
Yeah, they're not.
These
Oreos.
are for dry use.
Dry use only.
Can't take them with pills.
I hide my pills in them.
Yeah.
Don't get them wet. Don't feed them after midnight.
Yeah.
I take all my pills in Oreo form.
Oh my gosh. That's why you have diabetes.
Like, wow, Freddy, you're taking a lot of pills today.
Three sleeves of pills.
Right?
My amlodipine is between 2 cookie layers.
Oh, I wonder if anyone believes this.
Man.
I love to make shit up like that and then wait for someone to be like, "Are you sure you're doing all right, man? Or you're eating 3 sleeves of Oreos every day with your pills?"
Taking a lot of pills, man.
Well, don't worry. I wash it down with orange juice. It's healthy.
Anywho, guys, I did not watch the Super Bowl.
No, me neither.
No, neither did I.
We saw a tiny bit.
Like 10 minutes.
Yeah, because I knew the outcome ahead of time.
We watched the comedy special.
Andy had a copy of the script.
What did you watch, Kelley?
Jimmy O Yang's special from last year.
Okay.
He's awesome.
Yeah, I love that guy.
Jimmy O?
Yeah.
From
Jimmy O Yang.
From Silicon Valley, from God, what? He was on something more recent.
I'll find him. Kelley, you gotta send me something.
Was it Mythic
sometime?
Quest, maybe? No.
I will.
Yeah.
He was on something more recent.
Oh, okay. Do we want to sit in silence, try to figure it out?
God, could we real quick? All right. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't want I just want to say something about Super Bowl and Taylor Swift. I hate Taylor Swift not because she's a woman that likes football and ruining it for me. I hate Taylor Swift because she's cheering on the Chiefs and there are the Bengals rivals.
Yeah.
That's what you did.
So fuck that bitch.
Yeah.
You're like bros before hoes.
Right.
She knows the score.
Essentially, is what you're saying.
She has to understand by now.
And what did I tell you guys as soon as, like, months and months ago, when Taylor Swift hooked up with Travis Kelce, I told you guys that they were going to win the Super Bowl, and what happened?
They won the Super Bowl, Andy.
Super Bowl.
Yeah. Did we bet you anything? Did we bet you?
No, I did. I was just ranting, and you guys were like, "That's kind of crazy, Andy."
Well, you're not the only one.
It's not crazy.
Doesn't believe the conspiracy anymore, boy.
Yeah.
My boys fully believe that there is an NFL conspiracy.
So they're saying
that's rigged.
It's gone full WWE, is what people are saying now, right?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, I find that hard to support an organization where like it's so unfair.
Well, I think they're not admitting to being full WWE. I think it's for all of this betting now, like all this sports book betting.
Yeah.
I hate it. It doesn't have the joie de vivre. It doesn't have what it did when we were kids, for sure. It doesn't even have what it had 10 years ago. Yeah, it's lost a lot of soul.
I guess. I just want a healthy Joe Burrow next year.
Yeah.
And I want to see what they can do. I just really want to see it again, you know?
As long as he's healthy. That's all we care about.
And every other team can die. I seriously don't care.
You can argue that the NFL put the thumb on the scale, but the truth of the matter is, like, maybe near the end of the line they might do stuff like that. But in regular season, I think there's some real stuff happening. For sure, inarguably.
I think we fucked up the plan back when we went to the Super Bowl. There was no way they expected that.
Yeah,
we slipped it in, man.
Yeah,
we did.
We were like, "Hey, girl,
what would have happened if the wrong team won?"
Is this your DMs?
What would the consequences have been?
What
would the consequences have been if the wrong team won? What would the NFL have done to the wrong team?
The wrong kid died.
If they're like because it happened in professional wrestling, where the one side who was supposed to lose is like, I changed my mind, bitch. I'm going for the belt tonight. I wonder.
I don't know.
That's fascinating. Anyway, sorry. I didn't mean to get back on football.
But I was going to say, I told myself I wasn't going to watch because I didn't want to watch. And I maybe watched like 10 minutes. But I feel like left out of the conversation a bit today. Like I missed just a thing that everybody did. Mm-hmm. Does anybody else have that FOMO?
Well, I did not.
Okay.
Yeah. And normally, like, the halftime show was.
I didn't watch it,
me, but I didn't watch it either. Like, I'm sure it's fine, but like, I'm
no, we didn't watch it, and then you get online, and everybody said it was amazing. Yeah, and I'm like, well, shit, it was amazing. I don't know. I felt FOMO hard. You
didn't miss anything. You missed the Travis and Taylor show.
Well, you can't miss that. That's like on the front page of CNN.
Yeah.
So
God, I hate them so much. They're awful people.
Oh,
to me, like being a Chiefs fan is akin to being a Trump supporter. It's
wow.
Just like it's just like a personality flaw and a red flag.
Wow. There it is.
Wow.
You heard it here first. Andy is equating you for liking Taylor Swift.
White supremacy adjacent because of her allegiance with the Chiefs.
The opinions expressed by Andy Hung are not necessarily the rest of the podcast. Dear God, what are you trying to do, man? Do you want to insult Nicki Minaj's husband next?
This kind advertiser that
what
we're going to
are you doing?
Here, whoever it may be.
I'm not ready yet.
You're not ready?
Nicki Minaj's husband.
Oh, Kelley, I don't have time to explain all of pop culture for you. And if I tried to, I think it would ignite the barbs will come for us. So we'll just pretend.
I don't want the barbs.
You don't want the barbs.
So we'll have the barbs and the Swifties coming for us.
Yeah, we can't have both. We can't deflect that. You guys can't be like, well, there's a woman on our podcast. I'm not going to be enough. I'm just a white lady.
You're not intersectional. You're
enough,
useless
guys.
to us.
It's not. All right. Now I guess we can be done.
Hello, boys and girls. It's time for Straight-to-Video Russian Roulette.
Yeah.
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 Oh, so should we just jump in?
Yeah.
Obviously, but I didn't know anybody's going to introduce.
Yeah.
Okay. Hi. This is Andy. I've had the roulette movie this week.
Oh, yes, because Andy did me a flavor. Because, life's been so awful lately. And I just couldn't find the time Andy watched the movie that I had gotten.
It was a plus in my column because the movie was really, really good.
Oh shit!
So I did not mind taking this bullet.
All right, good.
Yeah, the movie was Suitable Flesh.
Oh yeah, Barbie Cramps.
Yes,
Heather
Barbie
Graham.
Cramps and Heather Grahams, and it's so great to see two beautiful, talented blonde women, unlike Taylor Swift.
Oh God, Andy.
I had a feel of like white women, then it's like, oh, this gave me hope again.
Okay. Just think of Barbara Crampton. Think of Heather Graham. Think of Cate Blanchett. Think of
Margot Robbie.
You have me at Barbara Crampton, man. We don't have.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be like gross or anything, but goddamn, this woman's gorgeous.
They're both gorgeous.
Barbara Crampton? Yeah. That's not gross.
Barbara Crampton and or Heather Graham, but like if anything, Barbara Crampton is even more beautiful now than she was in the 80s.
I agree. I follow her and it's crazy.
Well,
like
now
Paul
she knows.
Rudd.
Now she knows what that shadow was.
Everybody says that Paul Rudd is
Kelley
not
follows her.
aging. Yeah. So then, therefore, she's like him. I
Yeah.
just want to make sure you got what I was saying.
She is like Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Funny.
They're both
She's
really
even
gorgeous, and they
He's
get
even
better.
older than
age.
Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
But,
but
yeah, like it's like I just want to get off my system because they're just seeing these two women like they're really good performances too on top of being gorgeous, so it's a plus. This Suitable Flesh is along the lines of the Reanimator and what's that movie, The Beyond? What's it called?
Yeah.
From Beyond.
From Beyond, yeah. It's very, very much like almost like
Ooh.
a sequel to
We
From
gotta watch
Beyond, or like it's like a spiritual cousin to it. Not just because of Barbara Crampton, but all the subject matter too.
Was there any other?
And I want to.
Oh, I'm sorry, Andy.
No, it's got like a lot of it's got some Lovecrafty stuff going on to it.
Yeah. Jeffrey Combs is in this too, right?
If he is, I didn't see him.
Jeffrey Combs
Maybe.
isn't in this.
I mean, he's in a lot of things, though.
Well, Andy, would you know Jeffrey Combs just on site?
Yeah, but
Oh, okay, so he's probably not in it.
it was a very small cast, and maybe he popped up as a cameo or something, but I don't remember seeing him. Don't want to go in too much because I don't want to spoil it, but it's Heather Graham plays a psychiatrist, and this patient comes in talking all crazy, and he's talking about help me because my dad is swapping his body with mine.
Oh, this is the thing on the doorstep.
Yeah. So it's a so and it gets it's an adaptation of that. I don't know the story, so so it's like a body swap thing, and Heather Graham has to play like these two roles where she gets her body swapped, and she does a really good job in both roles.
Kelley's doing a visual gag, and it's tickling us like we're babies at a photo mill.
Yeah. And it's a pretty like a borderline sleazy movie. It's very provocative. I was like, whoa, they went there with that.
Really? So like Reanimator.
Yeah, same thing with like From Beyond too. That was kind of like, yeah, wow,
Yeah.
sexy times. And it went to places I didn't expect, really. And I like the direction a lot. It mixes like a lot of different time periods of movies. There's some 20s stuff, like 30s, and Hitchcockian stuff. You know, like the pinhole wipes and everything.
Yeah.
Where, like, the pinhole that bands and contracts and to switch scenes. I like that little movie tricks.
Yeah.
Like the butthole.
Just like the butthole.
like
A film sphincter.
Yeah, the film sphincter. And it's like kind of like it's not over the top, but there's like some grounded moments where it injects some like real life stuff, which I liked. Like Barbara Crampton's like vaping throughout, and there's a scene with the reveal a camera on your car that is very. I've never seen it before. I'm sure like people say it's been done before, but what they did with it was really cool.
That's cool. I definitely am going to watch this movie. It's something I was already planning on watching. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said it.
Kelley, I watched it.
I don't know why I said it.
Nobody else can.
I don't know why I said it.
Because you don't want people to recommend stuff to you. You're like, don't take this as an invitation to start emailing me your recommendations.
Well, that is true.
See, I know you, baby.
This movie is really good. It does a lot with like a pretty low budget. It doesn't have like the crazy effects like From Beyond Reanimator.
Yeah.
It's more about the performances of how the body swap stuff, but there are some really good like practical effects and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really big recommend. So thank you for Amy for letting me take this bullet.
You are so welcome.
Like I would have like when this came up, I was like, oh, that sounds really fun. I'll watch it, but I can never do.
Right.
So this probably made me watch something I would have been too lazy to watch in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, getting selected for roulette is pretty much how I'm watching anything new lately. Otherwise, I'm watching old shit. Like we watched Oh, hell, what was that called?
Well, Joe Bob just did Freeway and Vamp. And we watched those. But
Freeway, we watched.
Freeway is good.
I fell asleep for Vamp.
Human Experiments is fantastic. If you have never seen it, it's on Tubi. It's everything from feels almost like in the beginning, feels almost like Texas Chainsaw with maybe In Cold Blood mixed in. Then it turns into like a women in prison movie, and then it's a horror movie, and it does all of them pretty well. And overall, visually, it just kind of was shockingly good for a movie that I had never heard of. Human Experiments, and it had Juliette Lewis's dad in it.
Oh, Mr. Lewis.
Mr. Lewis.
So yeah, this is the only way anything new is coming into these eyes. Let's watch a Graduation Day.
Oh yeah,
That's a bad movie.
Trauma.
Boy, is that good. All right. The movie that will be reviewed for next time.
Oh.
Is that where we're at now?
Yeah, if you say so. I'm following your lead on these things, you know.
I don't know.
You're the leader.
It's called Don't Look Away. It's on.
Don't.
Oh. Don't Look Away.
Yeah. Don't
And-
worry, that's.
It's on Tubi.
Look what I just did.
Oh,
Go!
oh, Andy, I was
you
worried
turned
about
my
your
head.
neck. I can't do that.
Look away.
Too fast.
Can't turn-
Now
All right.
Andy's paralyzed.
This is the description from IMDb. It doesn't move. It doesn't think. It just kills. For one young woman. I can't read because I can't breathe.
Oh,
Honey, will you
baby, I'm
read this
sorry.
part?
It doesn't move. It doesn't think. It just kills. For one young woman, a chance encounter with a supernatural entity proves devastating. Frankie learns that once you see the mannequin, there may be no end in sight.
What?
Except for your own. Don't Look Away, starring a mannequin. Who's
So
gonna...
Look Away probably moves.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Blink. I bet you
Yeah.
it's like Blink from Doctor Who.
Doctor Who, yeah.
Like
They were the angels.
the ghosts from
Or
Mario.
Boo Radleys.
Yeah.
That's what those
Yeah.
little buggers are called.
I am just a little congested. So sorry, everyone.
Let's see who's gonna. You can do this, Amy. You can tap that. You want to tap that?
You want to
Yeah.
tap? You can tap that.
It's so quiet.
I'm tapping the wheel of misfortune. It's Kelley.
Wonderful.
Sorry, there's no sound there, folks.
There's
Moose
normally
out front should have told you.
there's normally cheers and hurrahs.
Yeah.
No hurrahs here,
Technical difficulties.
Would you text it to me?
dude. It is on its way.
Thank you.
All right, Amy, are we good?
So good.
All right.
Turn out lights, it's the main attraction.
Kids, if you're gonna smoke marijuana, don't podcast. And if you're gonna podcast, this week's main attraction is Exorcist II: The Heretic, a John Boorman film adaptation of Exorcist II: The Heretic.
More like a John Boring than.
What was that phrasing? I even wrote it down. Hold on, let me find me notes. And again, I watched this movie twice and never once made it all the way through. So that's not my fault, I guess.
And don't quote me on this, but we might have done this for the show already because
It's
I
possible.
I don't
vaguely remember
this.
seeing this already.
But oh my god, if we did. Okay, in the credits it said in John Boorman's film of.
Yeah, I think that's because the source material is technically a novel, Exorcist, the first Exorcist.
It's that I've just never seen that phrasing.
It's very weird for a movie that's really does. It's not
Anywhere
based on
else.
anything other than another IP. So I don't really understand why they chose that.
Yeah.
And probably because nobody else wanted their name on it. William Peter Blatty was probably like, yo, yo, yo. William Friedkin was like, yeah, you can leave me off of that too.
Ultimately,
Thank you.
this was a not a good movie.
Well, it's kind of fitting.
I could
that
tell you
in the
from
opening.
what I've seen.
In the opening credits, that the score or soundtrack, it sounds like Yoko Ono's wailing material, the wailing stuff she did. So that, I mean, that kind of in a way, like if you sit through that opening sequence and hear that music and everything, and you're like, I can do this. Then you're probably good. But if you don't even like that opening sequence, you're better to just bail out.
Okay, well, the question I have, does The Exorcist need a sequel?
No.
With the same characters and everything?
Well, yes.
I mean, I like what they did
Exorcist
with
3.
Yes, but that wasn't like related to anything with like
Yeah, that really should have been Exorcist II.
Reagan and everything, and the Pazuzu and stuff like that.
Right.
And I feel like the story was told in Exorcist already, and that's all you need to do with that. To have like a sequel with the same characters.
I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
You're saying that the first movie is an arc that is self-contained and done, but it's okay to make movies set in that world. You just don't want them to touch. It's like the Skywalker stuff that people are always saying.
Or it's kind of like they could have done something what the original intention of Halloween was.
Like what they did with the TV show.
Just tell different stories about exorcisms or something like that. I didn't need like expansion on Reagan and Pazuzu and her mother and stuff like that.
Andy,
the Exorcist TV show they did a few years back on Fox was fantastic. They do go back to the well a little bit. I can't exactly remember any of it.
When you say they go back to the well of the movie, the first movie, barely, but they do a little bit. Yeah, but they do break off into this new and interesting direction that I loved.
Takes place in that universe and stuff like that.
Yes, it's in that universe, but there's new stories. Oh, so sad when that show got canceled because that was really good.
It was a really good show.
They tried to do that with the Exorcist that came out last year, Believer. Mm-hmm. They tried to pull in Ellen Burstyn's character in, and it was bad.
It didn't work. I watched it too, Andy.
Didn't I start it with you? I think I fell asleep.
You might have. It was awful.
It was a fine movie on its own, but when you try to tie it to the original Exorcist, that's where it didn't work for me.
Right.
So you guys remember when we went and saw Exorcist 4 together?
Yeah, and there was a couple there was somebody that wouldn't stop talking.
That probably happened. I don't remember that part.
I remember that part more than anything.
Did I go to this movie?
Yeah, we were all real mad. And then the movie was real bad too.
What was that?
Remember it?
There were 2 versions they put out.
2 versions, of Brett Ratner version and the Paul, who is that guy? I could think.
Was it Rennie Harlan?
Rennie Harlan. Not Brett Ratner, sorry. Rennie Harlan and another famous
Woody Allen
artsy director. No, I can't remember.
Edgar Wright.
Brett Ratner?
It doesn't matter. They were bad. They were bad. They were bad in a way that this movie, The Exorcist II, The Heretic, is not. It's a different kind of bad, where those movies were so entirely forgettable.
Yeah, I can't remember any of that.
This movie visually is very memorable.
It's got great sets. That's the best.
Yeah,
I mean,
costumes too.
If the biggest compliment I can give the movie is that great sets.
Beautiful gown.
That's pretty bad, but they were really good sets. So
I loved The Office, where Louise Fletcher works. And Reagan, I guess, comes to get her therapy.
It seems like the X-Men Academy.
It's all these little like glass in pods all over this giant room. It's very strange.
I feel that wouldn't fly in a real medical building because people need privacy when they're having their sessions.
And there's like kids there with like violent disorders.
There was
around glass.
There was a trick.
Fingerprints everywhere. Sorry, Freddy. I have to talk about the fingerprints on everything.
That's all right. I lost my train of thought.
And the Star Trek doors too.
And the Star Trek doors. And the Star Trek everything. Because it was all made up science. I'm so sorry. Are you mad at me?
No. It's all right. It's all good.
I made him lose what he was going to say.
Oh, it's okay. I have notes for that reason. It was about the rooms, but it's all right. There was a moment where they showed where they could secret off those rooms.
Well, yeah. They had blinds or whatever.
Well, no, they had a lighting trick. It seemed to it almost seemed magic. That was one of the things I was going to say about being competently assembled cinematography, staging, all that stuff is actually very good. It's just a terrible movie. It has no skeleton to hold it up.
I don't even know what the plot is.
Muscles in
Yeah.
Your bones keep your skin in a person's shape.
Yeah. And a story keeps a movie in shape.
Yeah.
You can hang beautiful clothes on a body with no bones, but then they're just on the floor.
Yeah.
Essentially, with a meat
And it's hard
puddle.
to get the bones on them.
Yeah.
You gotta like pull them on.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
The Burning Woman was great.
In the beginning,
the beginning was cool.
yeah.
I mean, there was other things I liked. I loved where what's the actor's name? He was drunk a lot of the time apparently during this.
Richard Burton,
Richard Burton. He
Who did
addressed
he play?
the father,
priest.
the priest.
Okay.
He was married to Elizabeth Taylor. You know that, right? Well, the only reason he did this movie is he had to pay for their divorce. So that should tell you one thing. Like everybody who was involved in this, I think knew the script was a nightmare, and they didn't sign up for the movie they ultimately made anyway. And he would look right into the fucking camera. He would do it as if he was really looking right into the audience's eyes.
I mean, was that purposeful? Because
I don't know.
Because there were a lot of different tricks they did try to use in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, tried to make it artistic and everything. Like the POV shot of the we're riding on the locust ass and just seeing where they fly.
You know that I thought that was a bee for the longest time.
It's all right.
And I was like, I don't get why it's a bee.
How often do you
Freddy
see locusts?
It's a locust. And I'm like, oh, now I understand.
Well, the cool thing
It's
about
a biblical thing.
there is like this aspect that is really wild in this. It's almost like where the priest character, well, I don't want to get too far ahead because you are still at the Institute where you have Louise Fletcher looking beautiful.
So good at being an asshole, but she's not one in this movie.
Yeah, and you notice how beautiful she is because she's playing a nice person too.
Yeah.
So I was so confused because I thought that was Ellen Burstyn.
Well, no, there's a reason why too. They signed Ellen Burstyn to reprise later. They later got Ellen Burstyn somehow involved, but I don't even think they even used most of it. But they had recast the mom from Exorcist with Louise Fletcher because she looked so much like Ellen Burstyn. That's the only,
Ellen
and that's the
Burstyn out all over.
that's the only reason that when you see the movie now, they had to create a whole new character because they decided to ultimately, I think they cut out most of what they had for the mom character and replaced it and gave it to the aunt who was in the first movie, the actor who plays the aunt.
Yeah, cool, but
Isn't that cool?
Louise Fletcher.
It was on purpose that they look alike. It makes you feel crazy though, right?
Yes, because in the movie, Louise Fletcher is the psychiatrist, and she has such a familiar relationship with Linda Blair, and I thought that was her mom, and she was talking about being a doctor. I was like, oh, did Ellen Burstyn's character become a doctor after she stopped being an actress or something?
She's playing a doctor.
She plays one on TV.
She's just there doing research for a role.
Louise Fletcher was
Yeah.
Kai Wynn on DS9, and
Yeah.
boy, what an awful bitch.
Yeah.
But complicated.
Wasn't she
I
Nurse
know.
Ratched too?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
She is complicated. Sometimes Kai Wynn has integrity, but she is also manipulative.
Yes, and terrible.
It's a good villain.
Great villain.
Because you kind of get on her side sometimes.
That's what I mean. Sometimes she makes the right call. They are in the shit right now, boy. Anyway.
Oh, you're deep in Deep Space Nine. You're deep.
Is it the
in
Dominion War?
The say Nine space in it.
It's the war.
Dominion War, yeah,
The
shit.
Dominion War,
Oh,
yeah.
that stuff was brutal, man.
It's rough.
Whoa, the Jemadar.
Ferengi fingers everywhere.
All right, so back to this shit fest of a movie.
Lana Del Rey. I mean, that's a note I took for you. You said that Linda Blair reminded you of Lana Del Rey in this.
She was giving Lana Del Rey.
Is it the costumes?
I think it was her look. It was just her look, her tap dancing. I just feel like
Oh my
Lana
God.
Del Rey would do that.
The tap dancing scene is so terrible.
It's so terrible.
So terrible. It's almost like my public speaking events.
It was like almost nightmarish.
Yeah.
So she tap
the tap
danced?
dancing. No, it looked like something from a David Lynch movie.
Yeah, Linda Blair's a student at
performing arts
school.
And they suck. These students are terrible. Like, the school should not be in New York City. It should be like in Waiting for Guffman. You know, like they come out and they've crammed like a dozen kids in top hats and tails.
Well, the bad
bow
kids in New
ties.
York City have to go to a school somewhere too. The kids who aren't good at stuff.
They're just rich but not good at stuff. So they have like rich families. So they just, it's a school of adulation and not actual teaching.
Yeah, it's the Vanity Project School of Creative and Performing Arts.
It's like a Nepo baby school.
Dude, she comes tapping out. Linda Blair, top hat, tails, like kind of like very like putting on the Ritz, old school Hollywood costume, sparkly set.
They have canes, don't they?
They have canes. They're doing the whole thing, and she comes tapping out there. She looks like Gage from Pet Sematary. And she's just tap dancing, and these other kids come tapping out, and they're almost running over each other. It's awful.
Mad about it.
It's just amazing to me that you had an opportunity. The rest of your movie is technically pretty beautiful, even if it's terrible otherwise. And this is like a dance sequence. You could have done something with it. The rest of your movie is very artfully done. Why is this so clumsy and awful? It looks like a child's recital. And I mean, it is. I think they were going for realism for the one weird moment.
Okay. Remember how we were talking about how you used to take a movie and stab it and then take its dead body and prop it up and stab it 58 more times and then let it fall and then pick it back up again?
Yeah.
So then, meanwhile, the Catholic Church is like, we need to investigate more what happened to Father Marin.
Yeah, stop looking at us over here and what we're doing. You go investigate that thing.
And they want Richard Burton to go investigate.
The gentleman from the Boston Globe is here.
One of the biggest problems I had with this movie is how much they talked about Father Marin. It's like but we're in this movie now. So let's stop being so obsessive about a character that's not in this movie.
Yeah, let's talk about Father Chong a little bit too.
Yeah. And Reverend Cheech.
And Reverend Cheech.
Well, that was
Chong
Father
and
Marin.
Cheech Marin.
Oh wait, yeah. I redundant did it.
That's all right.
I redundant joked.
He's a good egg. But
It took me a while to get the joke until Kelley explained it.
I'm sorry. Sometimes it doesn't work.
My apothecary just changed my dosage. It was my fault.
So for whatever reason, 4 years later, they want more information, more investigation.
Well, weren't they talking about trying to classify it as a miracle, and that's why?
They're trying to make him a saint, right? Or something like that?
They're trying to make Father Karras a saint, maybe?
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly what it was now.
It goes into the backstory of Pazuzu and his origins.
Yeah.
Oh.
And we get to see James Earl Jones in a leopard costume.
It's a locust.
He's a locust.
It's a locust costume?
Yeah.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah, he's dressed as a locust. And it's also, they make you kind of doubt that it's even real. You think that they suggest that it's all in the priest's imagination, that when he meets Kokomo, who is James Earl Jones' character, who's this.
I thought about the Beach Boys the whole time.
Me too. Absolutely. Well, Kokomo's not a real place,
where you want
right?
to go.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Do you think
I mean Kokomo, Indiana, but that's not what they're referencing.
Yeah. But I mean, like, I wonder if maybe the Beach Boys saw this movie and just took the word.
I would not even worry about it.
But anyways.
No, it's one of those. It was like a joke play. Like it was. Like
it's a Jokomo.
It was a Jokomo,
Giacomo.
One of those like fake islands they would talk about in like old timey stuff.
Oh, kind of like a Bing Crosby bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
we're going down to Kokomo.
Yeah.
Cucamonga.
Or did I mean Bob Hope? Didn't they work together? Anyways, never mind. I'm getting off track, like a fucking derailed train.
So that's why. Okay.
Well,
and then we find out that Pazuzu is.
Hold up. I wasn't done making my point about James Earl Jones' character, Kokomo, because we got off on his name. Just real quick. Kokomo, when the priest first comes to Kokomo, like Bermuda, he shows up and he sees him in the locust costume and sees him as this almost like a character out of Black Panther. If you've seen that movie, a very stylized, over the top costume, surroundings, everything is just intensely weird. It's like comic booky. And then as he comes out of the illusion, he sees Kokomo as the scientist in a white lab coat. and it's James Earl Jones as you would recognize him in real life, probably, just a regular guy.
But they're the same character, right?
Kind of.
Kokomo became the scientist?
They're a little vague about it. I think he might be his descendant, and there's some sort of magical powers that he inherited.
Oh, so that was like a flashback of Kokomo.
Not necessarily.
Costume?
No, it could be an illusion.
What?
Where was Coco Beware?
Kokomo was interacting with Richard Burton's priest character in the scene in real life, but Richard Burton was perceiving him as this character in this locust costume.
Yeah, like he's like they travel across like astral planes and like meet the past Kokomo.
Yeah,
and stuff like that.
That's what I think.
Oh, okay. I get
How
it
does
now,
this
'cause I
priest-
thought it was. I thought.
Well, it's also not. It's not written in stone, Andy. They don't spoon feed you that explanation. You just have to kind of get there with other people who've seen the movie.
Oh, okay. Because I thought Kokomo was like, good for him. He became a scientist.
Good for
after,
Kokomo.
After defeating Pazuzu.
He was still working on it. Like, there was something about he wasn't really trying to just defeat Pazuzu. The scientist version of Kokomo was trying to take the locusts and make one locust not want to be destructive. And he said if one of these locusts decides not to be destructive, the others will begin to calm down and they'll eventually become not destructive and they'll no longer wipe out. It'll eliminate famine, essentially. And
is this part of the subplot? Was like a weird, like, ecological thing?
Well, no, it turns out it's all kind of spiritual in that what Kokomo was doing with the locust is what Richard Burton's priest character ultimately needs to do with Reagan. Reagan represents the locust that could be nice, even though she was, because she had Pazuzu in her. And it brought out everything in her that was destructive and negative. And then once Pazuzu, normally you don't survive being possessed by it.
Right.
But she survived. So they were going to go science-y in this one and be sci-fi-ish and say that they could apply what they were applying to these locusts, this concept, to Reagan and spread it to every other possessed person and cure them, basically.
Is that what they were doing with the hypnotism stuff?
With the sync machine?
The sync machine was different.
That was some straight up woo-woo.
Yeah.
Where you could just stare at somebody else and then have lights blink in your face and tones of music play, and you could eventually be in each other's brains. My mind to your mind.
My mind to your mind meld.
The problem is that...
That's actually a trigger warning because that was very distracting. The flashing.
Yeah.
I had to look away a couple times.
That'll trigger a migraine.
There's probably a warning when you stream this that it could have epileptic risks.
There's a warning that it might make you mad.
Or it might make you mad.
Too.
Just might make you mad. Because he starts piecing this together from, the priest does, from what's happening at the Institute, plus what he experiences with Kokomo. That
Let's just say James Earl Jones from now on, because every time you say Kokomo, I'm like...
Okay. God damn it, you made me lose my point again.
The deal here is, I really liked the idea. Here, give me a refill of some water while I discuss this. A set and an idea and a concept I really enjoyed is that temple that they had to climb all that way up to get to. Marin had done it.
Jones.
Yeah, Father Marin had done it, and now Richard Burton's doing it. This concept that you have to climb all that way, and they all have these like ways they do it, and then they could just like lower you back down, or you could fucking fall.
I figured out how to say what I was going to say
beautiful.
even shorter. I agree with you, Amy. That scene is awesome. It's also like 187 hours. No, I'm not going to distract myself. Okay. The fucking technology bit, and it's gone again.
Write it down, dude.
It's the technology.
Technology of it all.
This movie is hard to understand. That's my
He's
point.
trying to use technology to suppress...
it drew too much attention to itself, so it seemed like the reason I think, Andy, you were like that the machine, what did they call it again?
The sync machine.
The sync machine was really a plot device and not as big a part of it as I think it should have been, because visually it was so arresting.
It was very prominent.
Yeah, but it's really like about like
the information they get out of it.
The whole globe. It actually has a lot in common with the TV series, but the TV series just did it in a much more concise and understandable way. Like by a mile. But they also had since 1977 to digest that shit.
Sure.
So Reagan can choose to be a good demon or not? Or is that
No, it's not that. What they're saying is that she had something in her that kind of made her able to survive an exorcism of this level. So if the other people benefited from that, like it's almost like being immunized against possession. But it's all done. They go through science's asshole right up the gullet of magic and out religion's mouth in this movie, and back up the asshole of philosophy, and then Marvel Comics.
So is
It's a real human centipede of
in,
stuff.
Bob Fosse's in there.
Is Pazuzu in her body the whole time, and he's just like dormant or something?
No, I think he
she's
like
cured.
He moved on. He jumped into the other body.
he's gone, but I think it now
But he shows up again.
She has like powers, some sort of like latent like leftover.
There is she does come along later in the movie. The demon, I don't know if it's Pazuzu, comes back and possesses her, but that's all just to make. It's all in an effort to make the priest have a fall from grace and make him rape her, but they kind of like
Wait, what?
pussyfoot around that in the movie. Like originally,
I fell asleep for this part.
yeah, there's a scene where the priest in the original screenplay tries to rape Reagan, but they make it where he barely even like it. It's almost like he just kind of brushes the whole thing off in the movie because they were like, and this is shocking. He was 42. Which I still have to verify.
Richard Burton?
Yeah.
No, he was 52.
Oh, he was 52. That's right. And she was 17.
Yeah.
So they decided they didn't want to shoot that scene.
Yeah. Thank you. I think we all agree.
Amy, if he was
What?
born in 25 and this was 77, he's 52.
Yeah. Or something like that, right?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay.
I'm just second guessing because the trivia has him. They have him for some reason. IMDb has 42. So IMDb, if you're listening,
Well,
fix that shit.
77 minus 50 or 50.
25.
Yeah.
That's 52.
Yeah.
Richard Burton was 52 and she was 17. Regardless, it doesn't really matter if he was 42 or 52, I guess.
So that scene never happens in the movie.
It's hinted at.
Oh.
He never does it. He just kind of is like, and she's wearing ruby red lipstick. Because, she didn't want to wear the makeup again. So whenever you see her as like the full monster possessed version, that's a double. But then when you see her as kind of half evil, where her eye color changed, and the glamour version of the demons in it, that's the seduction scene.
Oh, like Pazuzu got like glamour shots or something?
Kinda. Well, Linda Blair at least.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And I can't remember how the fuck it ends. Because I just was like, thank God the credits started rolling.
The house collapses or something, which was actually a really neat scene.
It's crime, penetration, crime, penetration, back and forth like that till it just sort of ends.
What is that?
No,
That's familiar.
It's
Dennis.
always sunny.
That's right. Thank you. I love that. That's poetry.
It's one of my favorite scenes of all time. I think it's one of the most beautifully acted things I've ever seen.
That episode's amazing.
Oh, yeah. It did collapse. Not the episode.
house.
Not It's Always Sunny. The house. Was that the aunt's house?
It was the original house, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. They go back, don't they? They go back to what is a set version of the
But it
house
was
in
like
Georgetown, right?
I was just confused because
cares?
it seemed like that lady was in on it, and she was trying to draw them there.
The
Or
aunt,
something?
you think? I don't know. I didn't read that into it.
There was
This
something
movie's a
weird that she
mess.
was doing
It is such a
because-
confusing mess.
I don't.
But
I'm
the house
glad.
collapsing scene was neat, with the walls like falling apart and the light shining through. That was cool.
It did have good moments. The score was really great, but not for a horror movie. It would have been great in anything else.
Yeah, and at the end, Reagan and the
Gets
priest
elected.
go off together. They just they sent her away, and she is on her world tour somewhere, I guess.
I think the idea is that they're going to try to harness whatever power she has, the church is.
She has something. Does that ever come to fruition in any of the movies?
No, because they abandoned all of this for part 3.
And then everything else feels like it was always a prequel.
But the TV series the TV series explores this larger idea that the Vatican is a power player in the globe.
Right.
Like that's not really hinted at in the original Exorcist or the Exorcist 3. They seem like a much more like cloistered, detached organization. So the concept that Blatty had for what the church was and what Exorcist II and the TV series had are very different.
Okay. Gotcha.
I'm not even that big of an Exorcist
Dropping
fan.
knowledge over here.
I just know a lot about it. My mom loved it.
It's been
Bloody.
There's a line in this movie.
Bloody.
One of the priests says it was horrible, utterly horrible, and fascinating. Which I think is probably the
Well,
first
that describes
quote.
this movie.
That's
Yeah.
the tagline.
It sounds like it.
I mean, it is a pretty fascinating movie, like how much they tried to do with this movie.
Did you like the dialogue scene between Reagan and the girl with autism, where she says to the girl, "I was possessed by a demon. Oh, it's okay. He's gone." Because she asked her why she was in the special hospital.
I mean, are they hinting at like Reagan's special powers with this?
Yeah.
Having the
She cured her.
autistic girl talk.
It's almost like once she fought off a demon, it's like she has some sort of holy powers.
She's like a
now.
prophet.
Yeah, she's holy now.
Yeah. She's I mean, she would have to be in the lore of religion and this shit.
Used
She
to
would-
happen in the Bible all the time. People that
It would be the
were
only way.
touched by the power of God, which is what would have released
Happened. Yeah.
presumably from her. So now that you've been touched by the power of the Holy Ghost,
You got
you
some
carry
powers.
that spirit with you. Yeah.
You got
Okay.
residuals.
Yeah. Exactly.
So
This was just not a fun movie.
No.
I'm glad I didn't watch it.
Yeah, you should be.
It had some interesting moments, but it was not enough. Good Lord, somebody just tell my fucking sinuses to give it a goddamn rest, would
Give
you?
it a goddamn rest.
There you go.
Sciences.
Yeah.
Kelley did it.
Jesus fuck. All right.
Did it work? Did Kelly's telling your sinuses to stop work?
Not yet, but I'll let you know.
I want to go to town on those boogers with the sinus pulse. She won't let me clear her out.
It sounds kind of gross.
We have this like
Threatening.
powered booger blaster.
Yeah, it cleans out your sinuses real good.
It's like a powered neti pot thing. Like, anyway, I have not been able. I drown when I use it. I can't handle it. I hate it. No.
Yeah, it's tough. You
But
gotta
not-
get. It
but
takes some getting
he
used
said
to.
he's gonna clonk me on the side of the head,
Make her
knock me out.
unconscious, and then blow all the
Just
snot
proves you're
out.
a witch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you wake up, I'll just have bags of snot for you. I'll be like, "Look at all this! Aren't you glad? Aren't you glad I knocked you out?"
All right.
Like you
So
harvested her snot.
next week, Gremlins 2.
Andy harvested.
Everybody's homework. Watch the Key and Peele sketch,
Yep.
and then
Done
watch
and
the
done.
movie.
It's in the movie.
So let's make a checklist from that. Okay. At the end of every show, we say hi to our Beelzebubs.
Hi.
Patreon.com/NOTLP. Freddie, you read that. Nobody wants to hear my voice right now.
Okay. Alise.
Hi, maybe I see your own.
Alyssa. Oh, make sure you stick around after this, guys, because I'm going to play a song. Alise, Alyssa, Branan, and Emily. Jeff
You
L.
know, we forgot, we weren't on the show last week, but Emily recently had a birthday.
Oh, that's right. She's
Yeah.
my next day birthday almost twin.
Happy belated birthday, Emily.
Happy birthday, Emily.
I own a good one.
I don't agree
That's a
with it.
great one.
Dr. Brian. Old dirty Bilstered. Bilstered.
Or as I like to call him, Old Dirty Bilstered.
Oh. Bill Farner. Frosted Blakes. Blayne Yogurt. Jordache Jeans. Paul. God, Paul, your new art is so good. I love that Ouija board you're working on. Jeremy, Cassie, and Gamora. Ernie, our silent partner out there. I don't know, in the desert. I hope you're well. Dave Siebert here in Cincinnati. Monica, what a flower of a person. And Dustin and your fur babies. We love you all. This is birthday card. It's from my new EP called
Very
Familiar.
excited to love this song. Very good.
Thank you. I'm excited to play it because this is the version mastered by Adam Ann. Again, he pulled things out that I really am impressed with, and just phenomenally grateful. Phenomenally grateful.
Let it speak for itself.
Feel like I'm talking like Donald Trump, but March 8th.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Martin Sanders, boy.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
I got your birthday card at a cookout in my yard. No, I laughed so hard at that birthday card. I laughed so hard. Getting older and feeling lonely. Wrap my dress, I just feel so high. Yeah, I told her I'm getting lonely when another year gone by. I got your birthday card at a cookout in my yard. No, I laughed so hard at that birthday card. I laughed so hard. I got your birthday card at a cookout in my yard. No, I laughed so hard at that birthday card. I laughed so hard. Getting older and feeling lonely. Wrap my dress, I just feel so high. Yeah, I told her I'm getting lonely when another year gone by. I got your birthday card at a cookout in my yard.